Blackstone Audio presents The Thomas Sowell Reader by Thomas Sowell. This book is read by Robertson Dean. Preface. Summarizing the work of a lifetime can be a challenge, even for someone who is stuck to one specialty. I found it even more challenging because of my very long lifetime and the wide-ranging fields in which I have written over the years, ranging from economic writings in academic journals to both humorous and serious newspaper columns on everything from baseball to politics to war to late-talking children, not to mention a few books on history, housing, autobiography, intellectuals, and race. Frankly, it would never have occurred to me to try to collect all these very different things within the covers of one book, had the idea not been suggested to me by John Scherer, publisher of Basic Books. I am glad he did, however. A sampling of all these items may have more things to interest the general reader than a book devoted to one subject, aimed at one audience. In each of the various sections of the book, whether on culture, economics, politics, law, education, or race, I have led off with newspaper columns before moving on to longer writings that permit more in-depth explorations. Each reader can choose from a wide spectrum of subjects to explore and decide which to sample and which to go into more deeply. Some of the most popular of my newspaper columns have been those titled Random Thoughts. Various unrelated statements about the passing scene from some of these columns have been collected in the Random Thoughts section of this book. My hope is that this large selection of my writings will reduce the likelihood that readers will misunderstand what I have said on many controversial issues over the years. Whether the reader will agree with all my conclusions is another question entirely. But disagreements can be productive, while misunderstandings seldom are. One reason for some misunderstandings is that my approach and my goals have been too plain and straightforward for those people who are looking for hidden agendas or other complex motives. From an early age, I have been concerned with trying to understand the social problems that abound in any society. First and foremost, this was an attempt to try to grasp some explanation of the puzzling and disturbing things going on around me. This was all for my own personal clarification, since I had neither political ambitions nor the political talents required for either elective or appointed office. But, once having achieved some sense of understanding of particular issues, a process that sometimes took years, I wanted to share that understanding with others. That is the reason for the things that appear in this book. Thomas.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?